The Savannah morning was heavy with jasmine and humidity, the kind that clung to your skin like a secret you couldn't shake. I, Clara, a 45-year-old florist, stood in my shop, Blossom Haven, arranging roses for a wedding order. My hands, calloused from years of pruning thorns, moved with precision, but my heart was unsteady. 18 years of marriage to Robert, a 48-year-old lawyer with a smile that won courtrooms, and Savannah's elite, had built a life that gleamed from the outside. Our historic district home, with its wraparound porch and monogrammed gate, was the envy of our circle. But inside, it was a mausoleum of silence. Each dawn, I rose before Robert, brewing his coffee, black 2 teaspoons of bitterness, just as he liked it. His blue eyes, once bright with promises, now skimmed over me, fixed on his phone or the mirror as he adjusted his tie. "Court's packed today, Clara," he'd say, brushing past me, his cologne sharp, no warmth. Last night, he'd returned at 2 a.m. from a client meeting, his suit carrying a faint scent of rosewater, not his usual sandalwood. My stomach twisted, but I smiled. A reflex honed by years of swallowing doubts. In our kitchen, with its oak cabinets and heirloom china, I found his phone charging, a notification glowing, a text from Diane Flower A8. Last night was worth the risk, My breath caught. Diane, my 38-year-old cousin, who'd spent summers at our childhood home, who'd borrowed my recipes for family potlucks. I swiped, hands trembling. The chat was gone, but an email lingered. "Can't wait to wear it at the reunion. You'll love me in lace." Attached was a photo, Diane in my vintage lace dress, the one I wore for our vow renewal under Savannah's oaks. Robert's hand was on her waist. My vision blurred, but I didn't cry. I saved the screenshot to a hidden folder. I searched his briefcase, finding a crumpled receipt from the Forsyth Hotel, Savannah, $280. Dinner for 2, rosé, lobster. Dated yesterday. He'd claimed he was in Atlanta. A rosewater-scented napkin was tucked inside. Lipstick stained, not my coral shade. I photographed it, my pulse hammering. Under his car seat, I found a hotel keycard, the DeSoto, 200 night, and a note in Diane's handwriting. Our secret. I snapped more photos, each click a shard of my breaking heart. The evidence piled up. Text, email, receipt, napkin, keycard. Robert wasn't just distant. He was betraying me with my own cousin. At Blossom Haven, surrounded by lilies and quiet, I processed the truth. Robert's firm, Low Country Legal, was a $20 million powerhouse, built partly with my savings from the shop's early days. I'd hosted his clients, arranged centerpieces for their galas, but he'd stopped inviting me to his world. Diane, a real estate agent, had been at every firm event, her laughter too intimate, her glances too long. I'd ignored the signs, her touching his arm, his late-night case reviews. Now the lace dress, my sacred memory, was their mockery. I called my friend Ellen, a financial advisor who'd navigated her own divorce. "Clara, you sound off," she said, hearing my voice crack. "I need help," I admitted, sending her the photos. "Get a forensic accountant," she urged. "Try Paul Reed, 912-55-0281. He's discreet." I hired Paul, emailing him my evidence. "I'll dig into Robert's accounts," Paul said. "Send me anything else you find." I nodded, my resolve hardening. I needed proof, not just of the affair, but of whatever else he was hiding. That evening, Robert left for another meeting. I kissed his cheek, masking my fury. "Good luck in court," I said, my voice steady. At the shop, I accessed Robert's personal email through an old laptop he'd left behind, its password unchanged since our honeymoon. Messages to Diane. "Wear the lace dress. Reunion's perfect." Another. "Bank transfers set. She won't notice." My heart sank. He was funneling money to offshore accounts, Diane's name on the transactions. They weren't just lovers, they were stealing my legacy. Paul's report arrived at 1 a.m. Bank statements showing $5 million moved to a Cayman Islands account linked to Diane's Real Estate LLC. A video from a PI Paul recommended showed Robert and Diane at a Savannah cafe, her hand on his, discussing a new condo for us. Paul's note: your name's on Low Country Legal's trust. You own 60%. Freeze the accounts now. I pulled our marriage contracts. My signature was on the firm's founding documents, giving me majority control. Robert thought I was too busy with flowers to care. I didn't weep. I strategized. The family reunion was in 2 days, hosted at our historic home, a gathering of 50 relatives under Savannah's moss-draped oaks. Diane would wear my lace dress, flaunting their affair. I met Paul at a quiet diner, its checkered floor grounding my nerves. Clara, we can lock the accounts, he said, sliding over documents. File these with the bank tomorrow. I nodded, signing where he pointed. I contacted the family matriarch, Aunt Louise, who'd always seen through Robert's charm. I need the reunion projector, I said. She agreed. No questions asked. I set my trap. In Robert's study, I found a flash drive with Low Country Legal's financials. Hidden in a locked drawer I picked with a hairpin. I copied it, finding emails between Robert and Diane, planning to forge my signature on a $2 million transfer. I saved everything to a secure cloud. Then I planted a small prank. I swapped Robert's reunion toast note cards with blank ones, ensuring he'd fumble. I hid a recorder in the study, catching his call to Diane. Clara's oblivious. After the reunion, we're free. The reunion day arrived, our home glowing with lanterns and laughter. I wore a crimson gown, bold and unyielding, with my grandmother's pearl necklace, a symbol of survival. Relatives filled the garden, their chatter masking the storm inside me. Robert mingled, his smile polished, unaware of my plan. I waited, my heart a quiet drum. Then Diane arrived, in my lace dress, its delicate patterns a knife to my chest. She clung to Robert, her rosewater perfume wafting, her smile smug. Cousins whispered, their pitying glances burning me. Aunt Louise handed me the projector remote, her eyes knowing. Robert raised his glass for the toast, fumbling with blank cards, his face reddening. The crowd shifted, confused. I stepped forward, uninvited, to the garden center. Good evening, I said, my voice clear as the Savannah River. I clicked the projector and bank statements flashed on the screen. Robert's offshore accounts, Diane's LLC, forged signatures. This family was built on trust, I said, facing the crowd. Robert and Diane chose to break it. Gasps rippled. Diane's glass slipped, shattering. Robert stammered, Clara, this is a mistake. I turned to him, calm. The mistake was thinking I'd stay silent. I showed emails, transfers, the $5 million siphoned. This is my home, my legacy, my name, I said. And I'm taking it back. Aunt Louise stood, clapping, sparking applause. Diane fled, her lace dress catching on a rosebush, tearing. Robert's face crumpled as cousins turned away, their loyalty shifting to me. The projector looped, exposing every lie. The fallout was immediate. Headlines blared. Savannah lawyer's empire falls to wife's expose. The bank froze Robert's accounts, saving $5 million. Diane's LLC collapsed under fraud investigations. I filed for divorce, securing 60% of Low Country Legal, $12 million. Robert's calls went unanswered. His apologies were empty. Diane vanished from Savannah, her real estate license revoked. Relatives rallied around me, calling me the family's new anchor. I expanded Blossom Haven, opening 2 new locations, hiring women who'd faced betrayal. My home, Once cold, filled with laughter. Family dinners, no pretense. I planted rosewater-scented flowers in the garden. Reclaiming the scent. Robert moved to Atlanta, a diminished lawyer, his firm a shadow. Diane faded into obscurity, her name unspoken. One evening at a Savannah charity gala, I wore a new lace dress, mine, not borrowed. A young florist whispered, "You're our hero." I smiled, no longer silent. I'd walked through betrayal's thorns and emerged, not broken, but blooming. Life Solver's lesson. At Life Solver, we share stories of resilience. Clara's silent strike turned betrayal into triumph, saving $5 million and her legacy. Infidelity impacts 20% of marriages, often tied to financial deceit. A lace dress and a projector changed everything. What would you do? Share your city and thoughts below. Like, subscribe, and join Life Solver for more stories that empower. Support us with a super thanks to keep these tales coming. See you next time.